a group ritual this Saturday on May the 15th, and that is going to be Fiery Wall of Protection, the Fiery Wall of Protection group ritual. And basically, what Fiery Wall is it is a protection work that is typically done in the practice of hoodoo, and that is to protect you mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, just overall protection.
Right, and you often talk about layering. Do you want to go into layering protection, what that means?
Yeah.
But wait, why don't
Yeah.
you introduce yourself?
Oh, yeah. For people who might not know me,
Who is we? Who is doing this for us?
we just went straight into it. I'm sorry. Sorry, we hadn't even did an introduction. I'm sorry, guys. So yeah, if you don't know who I am, my name is Sade, and I am part owner of Third Generation Conjure. I run this company with my mother, who everyone knows as Mama Conjure, but we are a spiritual company or metaphysical company, and we specialize in different spiritual services and products catered to the practice of hoodoo and conjure work.
And just briefly, you have a great tagline for what is hoodoo. Do you want to share that with us?
Most definitely. So, hoodoo is a spiritual practice that emerged out of slavery. So it emerged out of the result of the transatlantic slave trade, and it was different practices that were done by those enslaved in America, and they utilized natural herbs and roots for their metaphysical and medicinal properties.
So protection would have come into great need during the slave trade, correct?
Exactly. And one thing that I stress to everyone who is coming into this practice, protection, doing spiritual cleanses and protection are number one, and that's what you need to learn before you move on to anything. But, just like you said, I want to make that a point too, that this practice was a practice that was created by slaves. So most of the work that was done in this practice was for protection.
Correct. That's so that brings us to the ritual that's coming up, fiery wall protection.
Hmm.
What is the so there's layering. We were going into layering. Do you want to talk about protection and layering when it pertains to voodoo for us?
Yeah, yeah. So basically, and I'll tell you because I have some people who ask what's the difference, because even on our site we have protection and then we have fiery wall, and that deals with layers. Okay, so protection, that's like one layer. Fiery wall, that's kind of like a double layer that of protection that you're putting on. And when I talk about layers, protection is a work that you will do on a consistent basis. So, one layer of protection will be this ritual. We offered a conjure bundle set for this ritual, Fiery Wall, which had your bath, your oil, and your powder in it. So that will be another 3 layers of protection. You taking you a conditioned bath for protection. You putting on your Fiery Wall oil, that's protection. You dusting yourself with the powder or putting that around your home, that's another layer of protection, and that's protecting your physical body. Okay, when you go about going about your home, maybe anointing your car with protection oil, that's a layer of protection, for your vehicle. You do it for your home. You're putting fiery wall down in the corners of your home, or, out in your yard. That's another layer of protection. Even when you get into things like railroad spikes, where you put that in the 4 corners outside your home, that's another layer of protection. But protection is something that you can never have enough of.
That is so true. And I just want to add, I if I have trouble sleeping, I often add um, I'd put protection oil on my feet before I go to bed, and I sleep like a baby.
Yes, and I have a
Um,
lot of people that do that, especially people who, like you said, have insomnia, or even if they have like nightmares, or their children have nightmares, they will use, protection oil, and or usually fiery wall of protection or something of that nature, and it normally helps them out and helps them sleep a whole lot better.
so I wanted to say, and this is something that I've just seen people talk about when it comes to protection. Now, protection doesn't necessarily protect you from your own karma per se. If we were to go there, would you say?
Um, I will say that it can protect you a little bit. Okay. If you speak of karma, even in this practice, there's no belief in karma, but like I say, you have to be justified in the things that you do. So especially in a spiritual sense, when you're getting into different kind of workings, it's important to do protection work to protect you spiritually. So, if you dished out some bad energy and did something, you may still get a little bit of that back, but it may not hit you as hard as it may have if you weren't protected.
Okay, that makes sense. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so fiery wall of protection. So where does that title and word come from? Like what, because you were saying that there were levels. But
Hmm.
can you just go into what can be expected from this level of protection?
Well, sometimes with your protection work, you may not see any physical manifestations to your face, and that's because you're being protected from what's to come. Okay. But, sometimes you may have protection work going, and something may say, and usually that's spirit, that's ancestors. You may have something, you may be driving to work, right? And you may say, okay, this is the normal way I go to work, but maybe I need to make another turn and go another way to work. And then you find out it's like a bad accident, the way that you were
Mm.
coming. And that's your protection work working when you see things like that. But sometimes you may not even see your protection work working because it doesn't come to the forefront.
Mm. You shared a story today on Instagram about a person with car trouble. Do you want to share that?
Oh yeah, yeah. So I had a review that one of my customers posted, and she stated that she had a belt that was messed up on her car. And she said that I guess this belt had been messed up, but she never heard it, like any kind of signs of anything being wrong with her car. And she said that she was using the protection. And she had a coworker that was riding in the car with her and noticed the sound. So she ended up taking their advice because she was like, I didn't hear the sound. But when my coworker rode with me, they heard the sound. So I ended up taking it to the shop and getting it repaired. And she said that the shop told her that it probably, if she hadn't got it repaired, the car may have been like in an accident.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how protection works.
Yes. And a similar thing happened to me. I went to the mechanic because my car was stalling to start, so it wouldn't start right away.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, when I took it in, and I put protection oil on my car all the time. Firewall powder is all over my floor. I got a whole bunch of powder. um, but
Sounds
I
about
took it
right.
to
So,
I took it to the mechanic, and he popped the hood. And of course, the car didn't make the sound. It didn't do what I went in. And he just looked and said, "Hey, well, what about your brakes?" And I was like, "Well, what is he talking about my brakes? How
Mm-hmm.
can he see my brakes under my hood?"
Right.
But he was looking at my brake oil and noticed it was low, and he was like, well, "Let me check your brakes." And it turned out he said, "You have a leak in your brakes, and if you don't, do this work, you might be buying yourself a new car and somebody else."
Right.
So when I got the brakes fixed, guess what? The car stopped stalling.
Yeah. And see, it was stalling because you needed that attention on your brakes.
Indeed.
Exactly. But
Indeed.
some people will look at that like they got some bad juju or something like that. But sometimes, you may had to dish out a little money right there to get your brakes fixed, but it that probably saved your life and saved somebody else's life, and then save you from future money that you may have had to pay out, or your
Exactly.
insurance would have had to pay out.
Exactly. Well, that was my motivation. I was like, well, I don't want to buy two cars.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. But I mean, I like that point too, because I feel like, sometimes people may be thinking like, oh, my life is bad or something, but the things still happen, like my brother, for instance, like the last time we did a fiery wall protection ritual, I put him in the ritual. And he called me, he actually called me while I was doing this ritual. And he was like, I got off work, and at this time it was kind of cold outside. He was like, I got off work and my window wouldn't let up, so he had to pull over and try to get his window to let up because it was cold outside. Then he ended up having a flat tire, and he was like, "Don't you got a protection ritual going on?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing a protection ritual right now." So he just kept having hurdle after hurdles with this car. And then come to find out, the way that he would have been going, because he was actually going somewhere else. So he was like, I got a flat tire. Let me just turn around and go back to the house, because he wasn't far from his house. Then later on, we found out the way he would have been going was like a major accident around the same time he would have been coming that way. So that was his protection working. And that's the way that you have to look at that kind of stuff.
It's amazing. That's, how do you prepare?
Well, I do, like with any ritual, I tell all my people to make sure that they take a spiritual bath. Now, if you didn't have a chance to get the fiery wall, because I did want everyone to do the fiery wall bath and anoint with their fiery wall powder, and also put anoint with the fiery wall oil and put some of that powder like around their home. But if you weren't able to get that kit that comes with it and you're participating in the ritual, then I at least want you to take a spiritual bath, whether that's if you have the fiery wall bath, if you have a 13 herbs bath, a spiritual healing, even if you don't have a spiritual bath, if you want to do something like coffee, I always say that's a good alternative. It's a good spiritual cleanser. You can boil you a strong cup of coffee, black coffee, and just pour it in your bath. And a good psalm to pray, if you want to utilize the psalm, is Psalm 91.
That brings up a good point, though, Sade, about like preparing. You mentioned coffee. If you have any other recos for things that folks have in their home, or like you did that video about like stuff you can grab at the dollar store, are there any things that we might have at home that we can use to prepare, even if we're not in the ritual? This is probably a good time in general for protection.
Exactly. So, some of the good things for protection, like I said, coffee is one of them for a spiritual bath. Also, if you wanted to do something like salt is good for cleansing. It's also good for protection as well. And even like if you're cleaning your home, I always talk about ammonia because it's so cheap. You can get it for $1. And I personally wouldn't put it in a bath. Some people do, but it's kind of harsh to the skin. But even if you're doing like a cleanse on your house for cleansing and also protection, ammonia is a good protectant and cleanser. And you can just put, a cap full of 2 in some water and just wash down your walls and your baseboards.
Good. Great question. Thank you so much. So I think we can open it up for questions now. Dana, you want to take over?
Oh, I do want to add something too before that. So, anybody who has purchased a ritual, you may, I talk about all the time seeing the effects before the ritual. But when you guys purchase, that's when we start preparing for your ritual. And that's when we put it on the altar if we have all of your information, which is why I tell people, like, get me your petition over, as soon as you can. Because as soon as we get that petition and all of your information, you go on the altar for the ritual.
Thanks for that heads up.
You're welcome.
I got something going on in my life that I like. Look out for me. I want to open up for questions. Sho is gonna give me rights to give me the little hand raising privileges so I can pull y'all up to the stage. If there's anyone, I see some folks that are new to Clubhouse. You got your party hat on. Welcome. But if you have any questions, come on up. Woohoo. And there's no question too small. And if you're not participating in the ritual, don't worry about that.
Right.
You can ask questions in general about protection. Francine.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi. I have a question. Okay, so I got these the train things, the spikes, the railroad spikes.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, I want to move out, and I don't want to stay in here forever. So is that gonna make me stay here forever? Will I nail myself here? Am I gonna be stuck here? Or can I take them with me when I find like the place that I'm gonna go to? Like, is that gonna, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
are
no,
you
no,
gonna
no.
leave
It's
me?
not gonna. It's not gonna have you bounded to the house. It's just your protection work that's going on there. So, I'll probably just get me some more railroad spikes when I move to a new location, and then you already got the people that's moving in behind you there. You done kind of did them a favor and put down some protection for
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Thank you, because
them. You
I have
welcome.
them. I have them. Like I put some oils. I put like different oils on them and different powders and different stuff like that. And I was gonna put them inside of the ground, but I'm like, wait, like, am I? Because I know you said protection will keep. I don't know. I just,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Now, if you hadn't put them down yet or you're moving, then you can take them with you. But I'm glad you said that too, because when you get those railroad spikes, I tell people we cleanse them when we get them, but I would still like cleanse them with something like Florida water, and then put you like fiery wall oil on it, or even the powder, and anoint them before you put them in the ground. But we still cleanse them, and we do anoint them before we send them out. But if you want to put some more, fiery wall oil or powder on it, that's perfectly fine, and that's actually a good thing to do.
Yeah, I dressed it like a candle. Like
Yeah, you
yeah,
got.
fixed it like a candle. But then I was thinking maybe I should just put it in my room then.
Yeah, you got the right
Maybe put
idea.
them. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Francine. We have Sierra. You have a
Hello.
question for Sade?
Hey, Sierra.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hello. Oh, okay. I'm in my car, so I never know if this thing works. If we don't if we have like a local, like a place that sells certain things, there's something that we should pick up. Because I didn't get to order the stuff. Like I totally I was like trying to get into the ritual so fast I forgot to do the rest of the stuff.
Okay.
So the rest of the, I was like, do, 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 and I was like, today I was like, oh dang it. And then you said something. But is there anything else we can get like for a spiritual bath or like extra protection at like our local botanica or something like?
Yeah, I would, if they sell something like herbs, like I said, you can do like a salt bath, and if you want to put like some protection herbs in it, like a good one is angelica root, or arnica is a good
Okay.
one too. So if you want to get those herbs and like mix it with some salt, then you can put that in your bath.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think Clubhouse has some new rules about how many people can be up here or something. I'm playing with the new app. Okay, so
Okay.
next. Sierra, was that your last question?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. If you think of something else, raise your hand.
Got it.
And then Sherry we have next. And then
Hello, guys. How are
and Sierra,
you?
I'm sorry, y'all. Sierra, if you want to mute yourself. Okay, she got it.
Hey, Sherry.
Hi. Um, I just wanted to ask a question. When it comes to the railroad spikes, it made me figure this question out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've read some places where we're supposed to light them on fire and then add the oils and the powders to it. So I'm not quite sure if I did mine's right. Do we actually light them on fire and add that, or do we just put the oils and the powders on it?
One thing about it is about creating your own ritual. So if you feel like you need to light it on fire and put some oil on it and your powders, then by all means do that. I'm not gonna say that is something that's right or wrong. I personally
Okay.
just like cleanse mines and then anoint it, and put it on my altar and say my prayer over it. But if you want to like set it on fire or something, then you can do that.
Okay. No, I just wanted, I didn't know if there was a right way or a wrong
No,
way
no,
or,
no, no. That's one
okay.
thing with that's the beauty of this practice. I might do a protection ritual, and another practitioner might do one too, and we may do two different things.
Yes. Gotcha. Well, thank you for clearing that up. Thank you
Y-
so much.
You're welcome.
And thank you for the ritual.
Yo, you're
Much needed.
welcome.
Right? Thank you. We love y'all for this. I'm gonna take it over to Jessica.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
Jessica.
Hi. So I
Hi.
have like two questions. Is there still room in the ritual, or is that completely sold out?
Let me see. I think I had a couple left. Hold on. I'm gonna check real quick for you.
Look, I've been on your Instagram. Look, there was 6 left. Can Jessica get in to that ritual?
Okay.
You know, it's been so
Okay.
we've been at it. I promise you, I was like, y'all, I can't fit no more people. But then I had like that girl wrote me today. I posted her thing about her fiance getting shot at, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta like open up some spots. I think we do have some left. I'm just double checking. Yeah, we got a couple left, so you may be able to get
Okay,
in.
great. I'll sign up like right away. But I do have a question about maintaining protection like after the ritual. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it were to protect me like next week from, I don't know, getting hit by a car,
Mm-hmm.
keeping that protection up for like the whole year.
Yeah. So, one thing is, many times when we do rituals, people see lasting effects. Like we had a money ritual last year, and I still have a customers like that. Money ritual still working. So, and she hadn't participated in any other rituals. So, you know, usually the effects are lasting, but you still want to follow up with your protection, even if that's, you know, incorporating in, you know, just your daily life, at least trying to do like a protection bath once a week, or you know, at least like once or twice a month, you know, cleansing your house and putting down your protection with your protection powder and so forth. So yeah, just make sure, like I said, just try to incorporate it like as a routine in your life, even if it's a matter of you just taking a protection bath, like I said, like once a week.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you for asking that, Jessica. That's like clutch
That was a really
information
good
from
question,
Sade.
though.
Yeah. I think along with that too, talk about blockages and mindset, something that's not tangible.
Yeah, and I talk about that a lot, so that's a good point to bring up. So, one thing about blockages is that people can block their own work, you know, and that's usually when you're doing things like, you know, your money workings, or, you know, crown of success workings, anything like that. A lot of people, you know, they come in and they're like, let me see if this is going to work. And that's already creating a blockage. Also, like you said, with your mindset, you have to have a mindset that you want change, especially when you're coming into this practice. If you feel like you're just in a low state and nothing's going right in your life, it's all about, you have to get your mind together. Like, I can have someone that comes to me and say, you know, they're just going through a lot, they're in a negative headspace, and I can do work for them. I can have them cleanse, I can have them burn Blockbuster road opening, but if they're not willing to change their mindset, they're never going to see any results from it. So thank you for that point, Dana, because that was a very good point, and I see it a lot. And people that kind of, you know, people don't really obsess over protection results, you know, because it's kind of like a mundane. It's not all that glitz and glam, but people tend to obsess over their other workings, especially like money, or even if they get into like love workings or something like that, they tend to obsess over the results, which creates blockages, and that's what holds their work up.
Anyone else have a question they want to raise their hand for? Questions about the business itself, or their own personal share from, you know, being a part of a previous ritual that you might want others to hear? Because I'd love to hear these testimonies.
I
It
do
makes
too.
me very, very happy. Well, I think also, Sade, if you can reiterate too, where to, like Jessica asked about, you know, just ongoing, like
Mm-hmm.
keeping yourself protected, or any of the work. Tell us where we can see your videos, you know, your Instagram account. You and your family share so much free information and just give a wealth of tips that can help us keep our vibration high and stay protected and keep this money work going. And like Shalonda likes to say, well, keep the money residing
Where the
over here.
money reside. So yeah, you can find us. I do put a lot of information on our Instagram page, and you can find us there. And that is Third Generation Conjure, and we also have a Facebook page, and that's Third Generation Conjure as well, but it's spelled with a 3, so it's 3 RD Generation Conjure. And also, we do have a YouTube where I do put up informational videos, and that's Third Generation Conjure as well. And of course, if you need any kind of supplies or services or anything like that, you can find us on our website, which is www.thirdgenerationconjure.com. And we also have an Etsy store. We don't sell the spiritual services there, but we do sell the supplies, and that's www.thirdgenerationconjure.store.
Sade, something several times before, something that I think iterated.
Sho, you're cutting in it.
Mm-hmm.
Is when protecting you.
You're cutting in and out. It looks like your mic is going mute and unmute.
Look, she needs protection, Sade. Right? Somebody's trying to mess with technology again. This happens between me and her almost every time we try to get connected. She'll be like, I was trying to call you. It was going to voicemail.
I had another app open. My apologies. It's operator error.
Okay.
I need protection for myself. What I was saying is that sometimes when, say love work, or, if you're going after a particular job, sometimes if that work doesn't work, then it's the protection work protecting you from that relationship or from that job.
Exactly.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I've had that happen to me before. I've been doing protection work and been pushed out of a job. And later that job, this is right at the start of the pandemic. I was working at a cannabis farm, and I was fired March 2nd, and it was announced a global pandemic on March 11th.
See?
Protection. So I was so glad that I got fired. I was like, thank you for protecting me, Lord. Thank you, ancestors. Because I was like, there's no way, sometimes you need to be pushed out of a situation, And that was a job that I was coveted. I wanted that job forever. Like, I've been trying to get into the cannabis industry for years, right?
Yeah.
So things like that, like you said, like sometimes it looks like it's a negative experience, like you're having something bad happen to you, when in actuality it's really a blessing.
Exactly. I always say what seems to us as bitter trials are often blessings in disguise. And that is a true statement. And I had something similar happen with me. Like, I was actually able to pursue this business full time, but I worked for a company for over 7 years, and I could not, y'all, I'm going to be honest, like, I was a hard worker and I was good at my job. Like, I could not move up in this company for nothing. Like, the last time I was trying to get a position, like, I did work and everything. I had the hiring manager and a sweetening jar. I had did crown of success. I had did everything, and the interview went good. Everything seemed good, and then it was like we went with somebody else. And at that point, I knew, like, they trying to force me out one way or another, and I'm just not listening, because I feel like if I had gotten that job, I would have got complacent and I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now, because I was still working when we started this company up. So yeah, that was my protection, most definitely. And then what's so funny is the manager that I was trying to go work for, I was like, he must have some kind of crossing on his team, because everybody that worked under him, they were having health issues, brain tumors, all kind of stuff. So I was like, I'm pretty sure I dodged a bullet. So
you definitely sounds like it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, that's something that's so important. Like you said, sometimes other things don't work out because your protection work is working.
Trust those ancestors.
Exactly, because they're going to lead you. I promise
right.
you. They're going to lead you where you need to go. You just got to listen.
Trust. That's all it is. You got to trust, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's great. So does anyone else have a question? Dana, would you like to add something?
I did want to... I know this isn't directly related to the ritual. However, there's something that I'm very excited about. that I'll focus on after this ritual. Once I get my stuff all protected and get this petition off to you, there is a date coming up where you're releasing some new limited edition products that
Yes.
one of them in particular I've fallen in love with. I got scared of it for a little while. That eye opener,
Oh yeah.
testimony that folks are posting and putting in your account that you have been posting out. I'm like, okay, it's not just me. So why don't you tell us about what's coming up later this month after this?
Okay, so we are launching out some products starting on May the 21st. It will be limited time, so, until it runs out, guys, but we're going to try to have a good supply of it. But the first one is the eye opener, and the eye opener is kind of like third eye oil. So you'll see something like I've had some people use it and seen spirits. I've had some people who've used it and, got some, it's kind of like truth oil, gotten the truth out of somebody. So with that, we're going to have the candle, the oil, and the bath. Then we have Foreplay, which is Foreplay by Conjure Bay, and that is an oil that is used to increase like your appeal. Also, it's used like the word foreplay. It's kind of used to increase like sexual encounters with a partner, and we have that as an oil, and we have it as a massage conjure candle as well. And lastly, we have Popularity. That is coming back, and Popularity oil is basically what it says. It is to boost your reputation, to boost your appeal with those around you, and that's going to come back as well as an oil, a bath, and a candle. And that will be launching out on May 21st.
You heard it here first. May 21st, run and grab that Popularity oil. Smiling.
It works. All of it works.
I have to be careful with that Popularity because my DMs going off when I use it. My DMs, my cell phone, text messages. I'm like, let me chill out on this one real quick.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all. If there's nothing else, again, my name is Sho Love. I have the Sho Love Podcast. You can find that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Anchor. Dana has wonderful stuff coming out. Dana, you want to share that? What you have?
Sure. I'm Dana Anderson. You can follow me on Instagram along with these ladies too. I'm at theycallmedna. Same as it is here on Clubhouse. If you're not already following the speakers, go ahead and tap their avatar and follow them. We follow back. We like to build community. I'm a big part of Shalonda and Sade's community. You'll see me, her, and Francine and us going crazy in her comments, especially when somebody has a success story. So look for us on Instagram. You can look for follow along my journey with my spiritual world and how I put my practice into my art. So I'm a whole artist, I consider myself. And I just love these ladies.
I just got your book too, and it was awesome.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I have another question. Sorry.
Jump in.
Yeah.
Oh. So for like the conditioner, like the oils, do you just dress candles with it? Like, can you put on your body? Like, where do you put it on your body? If you put it on your body, or is like the things you touch? Like, what exactly do you put it on? For like,
it's a lot of different things that you can do with your conditioned oils. Some people do wear them, so I do tell them, like, especially like something like Fiery Wall is like real thick, so I tell them to like put it in their lotion and you can anoint with it. I just say like kind of do a skin patch test because it is made with herbs and roots, so make sure you don't have any kind of allergic reactions. I do typically see people have better results when they actually do work with it, so dressing a candle and doing work with it. If you want to anoint something with it, you can. Like if you had money oil, if you wanted to anoint your wallet or something like that, you most definitely can do that. And some oils you can try to put on a target or something, just depending on the situation.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have one more thing. I have actually one more question.
Okay.
Okay, so I have this friend of mine, and she kind of wanted to do this protection stuff, but
Mhm.
she's afraid that it's gonna make her baby's dad like go away, I guess. And I think it will too because they started
Well,
fighting.
Well, I
It
mean,
will because they started fighting,
uh huh.
but now he's like not letting her accept my calls anymore. And I feel like she should still be in it. So should I send in her petition? No, I'm just kidding. No, like should I? I mean, like should I? I mean, what do you think? Like, is that it will right? I can't talk her. If I feel like if I lie to her, that's mean because I know he's
Yeah.
gonna go away. So she's like, right. He will leave. Huh? He will leave.
If he is not beneficial to her, something may transpire to get rid of him. So,
Okay, yeah.
yeah. And that's one
So
thing too with protection. Sometimes you may have fallen out. You may have a falling out with somebody just because they're not beneficial to you. Just to keep that
yeah,
in
because I
mind.
I
told
just
her
had
that
that
my
happen this weekend, Francine. Like,
yeah. When I barely
it's for real.
started this, yeah, when I barely started, I had people around me that were real close to me. I thought, and they all like left, and I thought like, okay, why everybody's not talking to me? Like, what's going on? What did I, like, what's going on? But it was necessary for all those people to leave, like for
Mm-hmm.
me to, be who I was, because all of that other that wasn't for me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I mean, I kind of want to talk her out of it, but he knows he's gonna leave because he's like, oh, I threw that shit out of here. Don't be getting her involved with none of that hocus pocus. You know what I mean? So, and I told him, don't talk like that because he could
It's
hear
not
you.
funny, but it is.
Tell
I
him,
told him like,
tell
don't
him,
talk like that.
hey, you need to tell him my ancestors don't take kindly to that, so he may not want to throw that oil out like that.
Right.
Yeah, I told him like it could hear you. You can't be disrespectful. He got like kind of scared like that. But yeah,
A quick note, though,
yes.
I'll tell you this, and it could be something that, we've had some strong lunar energy going on the last couple
Mm-hmm.
weeks, and then we got a new moon tomorrow. But I will say this too. I feel like, I don't remember. I think I ordered my ritual, like last Thursday, Sade? I don't know. But this weekend, I noticed this fool drifted, and he needed to drift. And it's never permanent, but it's like there's times when people don't need to be around you, so they're not in this season for you right now, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you needed something to just give them a little slide off. Go away, you'll be back when you're right.
Right.
But I also feel like you start also getting guided when you feel in your gut that you need to protect yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
like never underestimate that this work will also help you hear what you need to do for yourself to be divinely guided. Like I did not want to be around people on Mother's Day. My sister was having a party. I was like, my gut is telling me don't go over there, and it was the best decision.
Mm-hmm.
So take some notion of how it might talk to you and not just around you.
That's a good point. Exactly. That's a very good point. Learn to listen to that gut and that voice that you hear.
Diane. Diane has her hand raised.
All right, sorry about that. It wasn't letting me click you up.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I just wanted to give a testimonial that I realized as you guys were talking. I used a Blockbuster candle, I think about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And last week I had an incredible reading with Auntie. And towards the end, I don't even remember what she said, but it prompted me to ask about my mother.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my mother was very abusive. She was born on September 11th, so I joke that she was an actual terrorist. But I had been seeing, and she died in 2009. And I've been seeing 9/11 for the past few years all the time, and I was looking up for any other possible explanation. Mm-hmm. And I just tuned it out. It's like, nope, I was really angry with her because I found she played us all against each other. It was just awful. And I didn't want anything to do with her. And I realized as you guys were talking, oh, the Blockbuster is what opened that up.
Mm-hmm.
Because what Auntie said, she's like, what's going on with her fingernails? And I said, she always sharpened them. She always filed them into points. And she goes, yeah, those things are sharp. And then she tested it. She said, she asked for a message so that I knew that, something that only she and I would know. And that, that confirmed it. And she said she is terribly sorry. And getting that apology was life-changing. And now I'm realizing it was a direct result from, I dissolved my own block against hearing from her.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, she got a place on my altar. So.
Oh, that is awesome.
Oh,
yeah, it really has.
Beautiful.
It's put my mind so much at peace. It's been amazing. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. That is awesome. I appreciate that.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah, great story.
And that's, and like we didn't talk about, like, I'm not going to get too deep in it, but, this practice utilizes ancestor veneration. So that's a process, and, developing that relationship with your ancestors is good for healing, healing traumatic experiences and healing your line. So that is amazing. That's all. That's awesome.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Oh, I guess I need to tell you guys, like, anybody who is preparing for this ritual, make sure if you did get that fiery wall of protection bath, I did say try to start it at least 3 days prior to, and do that bath for 3 days consecutively, and pray Psalms 91 and anoint with your fiery wall of protection oil. Also put that fiery wall of powder around your house. If you did not get a chance to get that bundle, make sure to take a cleansing bath prior to the ritual, either the night before or the day of, and also, give an offering to your ancestors prior to the ritual.
Awesome. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Sade,
Good being with y'all.
Yeah. Just if anyone, you said you had a few spots left for the ritual.
Yeah, we added some more today, so we do have a couple of spots left. So if you guys want to participate, just make sure to head on over to our website and sign up, www.thirdgenerationconjure.com, and that is under the group rituals tab.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We'll see you next month, same time, same channel.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
So
Yay. Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night.